All right, guys, how's it going? So I have been to the cafe this morning and I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you. And guess who we're going to be talking about today? Now, if you followed my daily updates since God knows when, since we started doing them last year, didn't we? Absolutely everything in the last 24 hours that you've read online or you've seen or heard or whatever to do with Trent and Real Madrid, you must have been sat there like me going, we've known this for months. Like absolutely every single claim about the contracts, the terms, just everything. Do you know what I mean? So it was so funny watching all these people having a meltdown yesterday. I was just sat back having a cup of coffee, and I'm sure you were too, going, yeah, we know all that. I don't mean like we know he's off there. I'm talking about the specifics that they've all started chirping on about. Do you know what I mean? Like they're all tapping in now. It's like the British media, including the likes of Fabrizio Romano, who tried to spin his March 2024 tweet as that he said it was happening then. All of them yesterday literally caught up with the Spanish media. And if you've been following my updates regarding this, you know that the Spanish media has been correct. A lot of people are very much like, oh, don't listen to them. It's just propaganda. It's bullshit. Everything's been right. From the ones that I pay attention to, the likes of Jose Felix Diaz, who wrote this article here, actually, he's been spot on. So, yeah, for me, from a personal point of view, I feel happy about this because it means that everything I've been saying to you has been accurate, and our little community here, we've known about this shit for a while, haven't we, guys? So we'll let them numpties on social media have their little breakdowns. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to touch briefly on the Trent stuff, and then I'm going to do a standalone video about the Trent stuff because otherwise this one would be too long. And this video is supposed to be like a summary of what's being claimed in the Spanish press relating to, Liverpool Football Club, potential transfers, former players, etc., etc., etc. So we'll stick to the summary. I'll go more in depth, with the Trent stuff in another video. There are other things I'm going to talk about in this video, a couple of other players, but nothing exciting. There's nothing really exciting in this video, I don't think, so you don't need to waste your time with it. I'll give you the bullet points regarding the coverage concerning Trent today, and then you don't really need to watch the Trent video, although that one's going to be more in-depth with the actual articles, okay? So, he makes the front page of Marca today, but not the lead story. It's like a little bit in the top left corner of the page. The related article inside, which is this one, is penned by Jose Felix Diaz. He's the main journal for Real Madrid News, as you will know. If you follow me, that's my opinion. He's my go-to. He writes that the deal is imminent and, quote, there were 2 attempts by Real Madrid to sign him, always with the player's consent. Do you remember back in the turn of the year when Real Madrid came in, and I said they ain't going to bid for him unless he's indicated that he's willing to go there in January, right? Here he is again. This isn't a random journal. This is like Paul Joyce writing about Liverpool. Don't get me wrong. They still put propaganda out there. Joyce does for Liverpool. Diaz is going to do for Real Madrid. But what he's saying there is that it was always with the player's consent when Real Madrid tried to sign him. Everything that exploded online yesterday was, in my opinion, as a result of something Diaz, that's the journalist, not Luis Diaz, said after the Spain-Netherlands game, which I did mention on here. You will know this if you watch my daily updates. It was a day or two ago now. I can't remember. Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was before it all kicked off. He said something during that coverage of the Spain-Netherlands game, if you like, the commentary related to, not commentary as in match commentary, I'm talking about commentary analysis, and he said during that, the officials within Real Madrid had now said there was nothing to worry about Trent. It was all finalised, right? That's what he said. Had I not been in Spain, I'd not have caught that. Nobody else would have caught it unless they were here. It wasn't, something he said in the papers. It was just, I was like, oh, fucking hell, he's coming out with something new here, right? So from that, it exploded. And that's why, prior to yesterday, that I said under the community tab on this YouTube channel, there's a community tab if you look, and on the @CopTalk X account, that I was looking forward to seeing Trent at Real Madrid next season. If you go back a couple of days, you'll see I said that. I was like, I'm looking forward to seeing him there now next year. You know, because to me, that was confirmation to me. I mean, I always thought that he was going there, but, you know, football's football. And until it's done, and done to me means signed, sealed, legally binding, irreversible. Until that happens, you just never know in football. I've seen it so many times, guys, before over the years with Liverpool. But if you saw my post the other night on social media, if you saw my post on this YouTube channel under the community tab, before this all flared online and in the UK, I think it was the day before I said it, that was why, because of what Diaz had said. Additionally, Diaz went on to write on marca.com, so that's their website, obviously, not in the print edition, quote, "The Englishman's decision was made a long time ago and nothing will change his mind. His commitment to Real Madrid is confirmed. This is why I believe TalkSport, others, and even Romano started tapping in with it." Now, I will go over this article in a separate video with you, just to try and keep this one as brief as possible. Staying with Trent, though, Mundo Deportivo, a pro-Barcelona newspaper, also touch on it. Again, I won't read the article, but snippets that might interest you include: Trent Alexander-Arnold's transfer to Real Madrid is very close, according to journalist Fabrizio Romano, which, you know, shows you how out of the loop they are if they're having to listen to Rent a Post Fab. That shows you, doesn't it? The Barcelona newspaper, just looking at the online stuff like, you know, some numpties do, you know what I mean? Like, shows you how they're not in the loop. You know, they're not going to big up Marca, are they? But they're saying, oh, it was Fabrizio Romano that come out with it, and that's just not true. They say the Madrid club will pay close to 20 million euros directly to the player, while Liverpool won't receive a penny from the operation. This is a common practice in these cases, where all parties benefit except the club owning the player until that moment, which loses the player without receiving any compensation. This is particularly significant in the case of Alexander-Arnold and Liverpool. He is a product of the club's academy who has gone on to succeed with his lifelong team. But after several seasons in the first team, he leaves the club without contributing anything financially as compensation for his development. With this signing, Real Madrid will strengthen the right-back position, which has been held by Dani Carvajal and Lucas Vazquez, both academy products. As things stand, until the end of the season, there will be complete discretion between the two parties, the club and the player, and when the season ends, it will be made official. I wouldn't pay too much attention to, was it Mundo Deportivo? Yeah, one of the Barcelona newspapers, because I think they're just summarising and saying like what the British press will be saying, to be honest with you. Now, Sport, which is also a pro-Barcelona newspaper, they have an article, and the key points that I will get from that for you are as follows. This is what they believe, or this is what they're going to try and pass on to you as their knowledge. His salary will be around 15 million euros gross, along with a substantial signing bonus for arriving on a free transfer. The British lot, fucking Romano, all of these lot, you know, yesterday were telling us about the salary. We discussed the salary only a month ago, if you remember. In England, they're already confirming Trent Alexander-Arnold's arrival at Real Madrid. According to journalist Sasha Tavolieri on Sky Sports, the 26-year-old fullback will arrive for free this summer after his contract with Liverpool ends, providing a luxury boost for the right flank of the Spanish club. Notice how they said on Sky Sports, this journalist, I looked him up, right, he's only a young lad, it wasn't Sky, it was Sky Sports Switzerland. And it is so important that you understand the difference between Sky Sports Switzerland and Sky Sports UK. When people say Sky Sports, some people think that gives it weight, right? Do you know what I mean? Like a bit of power. Oh, it's Sky Sports. They're not going to say. But first of all, Sky Sports are shite. If you rely on Sky Sports, there's someone seriously deluded with you. I saw a comment on here yesterday saying, I only listen to Sky Sports and the official LFC website. Man, listen, Sky Sports are good for access, for interviews, features and things like that, right? But they're usually the last to know, trust me. However, right, people, younger people especially maybe, or maybe those that don't follow everything like you and I, you know, when they see the Sky Sports tag, they think it gives it some credibility. But that journalist was writing for Sky Sports Switzerland, and it's just under the same like branding. It's like a branding deal from what I understand, but it is I've gone over it. I don't want to go over it again. If you're not sure, just say in the comments, explain it to me, and I'll do a copy and paste. I posted it on the members' website yesterday as well. But it's not Sky Sports, as you know. They do not have any real knowledge of English football, right? So always be careful. It wasn't Sky Sports, as you know. Liverpool has already thrown in the towel, says Sport. On the sporting side, Alexander-Arnold is a luxury addition to Real Madrid under Jurgen Klopp, and now Arne Slot has become one of the best fullbacks in the world. And for some, even the best. With his excellent technique and touch, the red will be an offensive weapon for Ancelotti. Oh, he'll be a weapon, all right, out there with that other weapon, Bellingham. His only downside is in defence. Where he struggles against fast and skillful wingers like Vinicius Jr. In recent years, Madrid and Liverpool have faced off multiple times, and in almost every encounter, the Brazilian has easily won the duel against the Brit. It'll be funny if Diaz goes to Barcelona, won't it? Can you imagine it'd be Diaz against Trent, maybe? Interesting. Let's see what happens in the summer. Moving on. I thought this was interesting. In AS, which is a pro Real Madrid publication, they have a 2-page spread today dedicated to Dani Carvajal's progress as he returns from injury. They say the captain is progressing very well from his serious knee injury and aspires to have minutes in the Club World Cup in June and July. I should point out as well, the whole front page had him on the front page as well. And then this is the related article inside. So at a time when they're talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold going in, Trent's not going to be picked up ahead of Carvajal, that is for sure. There was a little reminder there, front page of AS today, inside spread. We'll continue. The captain is progressing very well from his serious knee injury and aspires to have minutes in the Club World Cup in June and July. Something else they said yesterday, sorry, not the Spanish media, the British media. Was it today? It might have been today, I'm not sure. Real Madrid, might want him earlier. Liverpool might release him earlier in June. We were talking about that earlier this year. Do you remember, guys, that Real Madrid were going to say, can you do us a favour? We might give you a bit of money if you release him a little bit earlier in June so he can play in that Club World Cup. Do you remember? And now all them nutsies in England and that, they're trying to tell you that like it's new fucking news. You know what I mean? God, we're fucking good on here, aren't we, guys? We've got it. We're fucking miles ahead of this shite, aren't we? Right. On Trent, they're right. Let's not forget that the club will have made the signing of Alexander-Arnold official by then. He will arrive free from Liverpool. The English right-back has a lot of sign, it says here. I must have translated this wrong. In attack, he has a lot of, it must mean positives maybe, but it says in brackets, in attack he is quite good, but he leaves doubts in the defensive aspects. Carvajal is quoted in the article as saying, I feel like an animal. I'm doing really well, the knee is respecting me and I'm enjoying the process. Every day I try to lift a dumbbell with more energy than the day before. I'm starting to run as hard as possible so I can get back as soon as possible. And they conclude, the signing of the Liverpool winger is an added motivation for him. Now, moving away from Trent, thank fuck. Although I'm going to do another video about him. You're probably going to hear all that shit I've just read to you again, but then I will read out the additional reporting. I've got Remy's dog hairs all over me, little fucker. Right, marker. Alberto Barbero. Alberto Barbero is a journalist. He wrote an opinion piece today and touched on Liverpool. No, he didn't. Let me rephrase that. He touched on Liverpool interest, Dean Huijsen. He never mentioned Liverpool in the article. I'm just saying to you, Dean Huijsen has been described as a Liverpool interest. But if they don't act quick, they've got no chance of getting him. If Real Madrid move for him this summer, they ain't got no chance of getting him. But if Real Madrid hesitate and maybe think, oh, we can do something later, that's the only chance they've got. This journal writes, I confess, I'm the only one who didn't know Dean Huijsen. I didn't know he played for Bournemouth or that he played for Juventus. I didn't know he came through the Netherlands youth system or that he was eligible for Spain. I didn't know he was 19 or that he played as a centre-back. I didn't even know he existed. And I apologise for that, although if I'm trying to atone for my sins, I admit that more or less the same thing happened with David Raya and Robert Sanchez. From what I've read or heard, I assume he was the exception. I'm surprised that with so many people dedicated to signings, like writing about them, I think that means, no one has talked about the kid until now, whom apparently all the clubs already want. But who am I to set the pace for the geniuses of the trade. So that's what he said. Now, in my notes here, I put, I'd love to think that Liverpool will sign Huijsen. But again, I've said here, if Real Madrid, don't make their move now for the summer, there's a slim chance we could maybe do something. However, are we ambitious enough to spend £50 million on a 19-year-old? Probably fucking not. And that's how they've managed our expectations, by that admission alone from me. Do you not think this kid is going to be one of the best defenders in the world? And as this journal admits, people are now starting to learn about him. Finally, Arthur Melo. Do you remember him? We've mentioned him a few times on these updates recently, haven't we? He was mentioned in AS today. They've got an article on the former Liverpool loanee. He's been receiving glowing praise since his latest loan at Girona, for whom he joined in February from Juventus. We've spoken about him a few times. They've wrote a few articles about him, haven't they? And it says, Arthur gets ready to shine against Barcelona. But you never thought you'd be reading that. The Girona team faces a particularly tough match this week against Barcelona, a game that will be special for Arthur Melo. The Brazilian will face his former team, from which he didn't exactly leave on good terms, and where he didn't leave an unforgettable mark. It's true that Arthur had some good performances while at Barcelona, but he certainly didn't meet the high expectations that his signing in 2018 raised. While many of his teammates have been called up to their national teams or have enjoyed a well-deserved break, Arthur's been working hard in the gym. He wants to be in peak condition for both this match and the final stretch of the season, fully aware that he is now an important player in Michel's system. The player himself shared part of his solo training routine on social media, which is aimed at improving his physical performance. Arthur had been sidelined for nearly a year before joining Girona, so although he's ready to play, he hasn't yet reached his full physical potential, a bit like me at 50 years of age. So, there you go, that's it. What do you reckon about that? What do you think? Did you enjoy that update? There's a few things in there, wasn't there? I think there's a few things in there that was written that might wind people up about Trent, saying that, when Real Madrid bid for him, it was at the player's nod. He was like, yeah, do it. So I think, we might be able to wind him up when we do that other video in a minute. I'm in two minds about him, you know what I mean? Was part of me that's like, fuck you, yeah. And there's the other part of me that's like, fair play, you've given enough to the club, you didn't cost us out, so go and, fulfill your personal dreams, So I understand people that, some people feel like that, some people are angry. I understand all of you. I really do, guys. But I've seen better players leave Liverpool, so I ain't going to lose any sleep over it. Although, there was a game, recently that I watched, can't remember where it was, what my memory's like. And I thought, fuck me, we missed Trent today. It's true. So, it'd be interesting to see what we do. That's your summary, if you like, of what's in the Spanish papers today. Like I say, I'm a fully grown man. I'm not, as you can see. I'm not a teenager. I'm not, just started this shit. I'm not trying to grow a YouTube channel or a blog. I have zero things to prove, right? I've been here a very long time, almost 3 decades, right, doing this shit. And even so, it's been very, very satisfying for me to see all the media that, let's face it, that most people listen to in the UK, catching up with what we've been talking about on here and the finer details. I'm not saying on here we've been saying this will happen, that won't happen, but the finer details, all the claims, if you've been following my daily reviews of the Spanish papers, you know that you knew all this before all these fuckers started chiming in yesterday. And it just makes me feel like a little bit like nice one. Not because look, I knew about it. No, none of that shit. Because I feel like all them, the cafe runs in the morning, I feel like all the effort I put into doing these videos for you has paid off. I feel like I've given you something different that you didn't get anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? And that just makes it feel good for me. You know what I'm saying? I do. I like it, man. And I want to continue doing the Spanish paper reviews. It's good for me. It gets me out in the morning and that. And, it'll be interesting to focus on what happens at Real Madrid, right? We'll definitely be doing Trent Watch. Yeah, I'm going to watch every fucking Real Madrid game I can. To see how he does, because I am not convinced he's a Galactico, but there you go, he might prove me wrong. So, but yeah, thanks to those of you that, leave comments saying, hey, I do enjoy these Spanish reviews, Dung. Let's be honest, I'm not reviewing, and I'm not going through Spanish papers to tell you what fucking Getafe are playing or something like that. I review the Spanish football dailies to get another angle of what's being reported, especially with this. This is why we started covering it. And while we don't, read what they say as gospel, we don't read what is in England as gospel, right? So it's just giving us another angle. And while people have come on here and left comment after comment after comment, not the regulars, the newcomers, the fucking clowns that drop in every now and then. Yeah, a load of shite, propaganda, it's all bullshit. Every fucking single thing that they've said so far has proven to be right, and they were way ahead of the British media. So yeah, I'm chuffed, you know what I mean? So thanks guys for watching and that, and hopefully we'll continue, because I'm starting to think, like, when he goes to Real Madrid, I said this to you, when he goes to Real Madrid, Mamadashvili comes in, what we're going to fucking talk about, I mean, yeah, there's some former Liverpool players like Aspas, my hero, Celta Vigo. I was like, what we're going to do? But it's providing it does get concluded officially and that, you've got to wait till the official thing. I think that's going to give us something to watch. And I know you guys are going to be like, I don't fucking want to watch him, or I'm not reading everything. Dunk, at least you can come here and go, Chubbs, tell me what he's up to, and I will fucking tell you. So yeah, nice one. So thanks to those of you that take your time out to thumbs up these videos. I appreciate you. I really do, honest. Those of you that leave me comments, I read every comment, even the ridiculous ones, and I get rid of them if they're fucking toilet heads. I had a right plant pot on there today. Oh, God, seriously, guys. What a numpty. He watched my my video, the you won't believe this, the piss takes. Harry Kane to Liverpool, and he was like, this is why the internet's fucked. I was like, what's up with you? And he went, as if Harry Kane's coming to Liverpool, soft ass. And it was like, what are you on about? There was a piss take, man. I mean, you didn't even watch it, did you? You absolute numpty. Totally embarrassed himself. Do you know what I mean, guys? But I know the majority of you watching my videos, my regulars are switched on, right? And I appreciate your comments. I really do. And I especially want to thank those of you that do support my videos, that are in a position to do so through the super thanks, right? Because that enables me to get a coffee when I go to the cafe in the morning. It's true. I'm very grateful for that. And I had 3 this morning. I nearly got an omelette this morning, but I didn't bother. So yeah, thanks to those of you. So yeah, thumbs up the video if you appreciate it. Drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a coffee that helps this, because this takes up a couple of hours for me in the morning, please hit the super thanks button. It's the love out under the video, or better still, use the Revolut link in the video description, because then I can just go beep in the calf. But yeah, too right, man. Fuck yeah, hey, I put a lot of effort in this, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, I always give you a shout out on my morning briefings, which are on my other YouTube channel. It'll pop up on one side of the fucking screen in a minute. It's one where I've got a suntan. It must have been last summer, that one, and before I ate all them pies. But yeah, no, I do a morning briefing, right? There's one on there this morning on my other YouTube channel. I'm talking about Liverpool stuff on there as well. But I put my morning briefings on that channel now, because YouTube sends out 3 notifications maximum in 24 hours. So I don't want to waste one on my morning briefing. So youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. I always give my acknowledgements on there in a morning. All right, guys. So I'm going to do a video about this in a minute. All right? All right, then. Thumbs up. Come on. Hit the thumbs up. You do it. Comment. Speak in a bit. Oh, live on here today at 1 o'clock UK time. All right. Maybe 6 o'clock tonight as well. See how it goes this afternoon. But 1 o'clock UK today, guys. All right. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I'd love your feedback. Cheers, guys.